Okay, so now we're going to talk about this idea of presets and headphone presets. The idea behind this is that we can monitor in a number of different ways through our Sound Devices 688, and we may need to listen to different types of inputs or different combinations of inputs aside from our kind of main mix track that's here. So if we press the encoder button, we're able to see a number of different inputs. And actually in the system menu, we can actually make that even more. So we have some preset ones, such as only listening to the left side as a mono source. We then have the left and the right as a mono source together, giving us a kind of stereo but mono feed at the same time through both ears. So the left and right is going to my right ear, and the left and right is going to my left ear. And then we have the L and R as stereo. So the left is going to my left and the right is going to my right. This can be useful for listening if you panned, for instance, if you're doing an interview with one person, if you've done a radio on the right and a boom on the left, then in this scenario, I would be able to hear more of the boom, and so maybe a bit more of the room on my left, and then I would be able to hear the radio on the right. But if anything rustled, I would, for instance, just hear the radio mic on my left. Then we get into the idea of presets. We can just press down here, and we have basically a number of different options. This preset 1 has already been predefined to accept the ISO tracks of channel 2 and 3 on the left. So in this example, I would imagine that they were radio mics of, say, 4 people at a dinner table. The 2 people on the left side of the table, I could listen to their radio mics pre-fade, i.e. before I do anything with the fader. And then I can scroll all the way through to the right-hand side, and then person 3 and 4, in this case the input 4 and 5, are listening in my right ear. And so what I could then do is make this a favorite by selecting the favorite option. I could then go back to the main menu. I could be listening to our 2 people talk, and if I went to left, I could then use this favorite button to quickly monitor my mono source. If I maybe hear something's rustling, I can quickly snap and I can decide which side of the table it's on. And so that is just one small example of using headphone presets. You can also, if there's 2 people plugged in, maybe one of them has a preferred kind of headphone preset to you, or if you've got a different scenario or different types of scenarios that you run into often, such as needing a boom on the left and a radio on the right, or that kind of pairing right there, then you can name up to 10 different presets and easily scroll to them without having to use this pre-fade listen functionality. So that kind of concludes and gives you a nice introduction to headphone presets.